mic's not on. My mic's not on. Can you hear me now? Hey guys. Welcome to my stream. Okay. So today we are going to read Genesis 5 through 8. But before that, how's everybody doing? I've had a busy day. I had to go clean at the church I clean at, and had to go shopping. So I've been running around like a crazy woman today, but that's fine. I also had a very scary incident today because my biggest fear is choking to death. And right before I sat down to have my lunch, I took one of my pills that I was supposed to take, and it went down the wrong tube. So I had to like smack myself in the chest until it came out. So that was really scary. So I survived one of my biggest fears today. Yeah. So I'm just gonna wait for a little bit because I'm waiting for people to come in. It says there's somebody watching. Hello, whoever is watching, because I don't know how this works, but hi. So how are you guys doing? You guys doing well? Having a good day? All right. Well, I think we're gonna get started. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a recap from yesterday. So, yesterday we did Genesis 1 through 4, and we talked a lot about like the beginning and how God created everything, and then we went through like the different generations and Cain and Abel, and then how Cain got cast out and went and found a wife in another town. And it was interesting because I was thinking about that last night, and I was thinking, well, maybe if we look at this in a different light, I could definitely see this story being more about, you know, that one culture. Because I know, like, Jade was talking about how she always wondered, like, where the other people came from. And I was thinking about it last night, and I was just thinking about, well, maybe this is their interpretation of what they think happened for their culture to start. But they knew there were other cultures around, so maybe that's just, like, it's like their creation myth and how they started out. But other cultures have their own creation myths, so when Cain went over to another culture or another town, there were other people. I don't know for sure, like, I am not a scholar. I am all self-taught in all these things, but I think, I don't know, I think that's a good way to kind of look at it. I think if anybody else has a different way of thinking about it, you can let me know, because I like to think deeply about these things, even if they're not true. Just like learning about different histories and like how people thought the world came to be and things like that. So yeah, I really enjoy doing this, and I really enjoy looking into all kinds of religions and history and things. So anyways, I think I'm going to get on with the reading. Today we're going to read Genesis 5 through 8. And the first part is going to be Adam's genealogy, which should be interesting because I'm really bad with names. So you're going to have to bear with me while I read through some weird names that I can't read. And if anybody knows how to say them, that would be awesome. But so I'm going to start the reading, and if you guys have questions or anything, you can just let me know in the chat, and or if you hear something that's interesting to you, or you have any ideas, I would totally love that, because this is a big part of why I wanted to do this too, is just to see different perspectives on these stories. So let's get started. You can go to Genesis 5 if you want to read along. Here's the genealogy of Adam. On the day that God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. He created them male and female. He blessed them and called them Adam on the day they were created. After Adam lived 130 years, he fathered a son like himself and named him Shet. After Shet was born, Adam lived another 800 years and had both sons and daughters. In all, Adam lived 930 years. And then he died. Shet lived 105 years and fathered Enosh. After Enosh was born, Shet lived another 807 years and had sons and daughters. Arcardul. Thanks for following. We're reading Genesis 5 through 8 right now. So if you have a Bible and want to read along, you are more than welcome to. And if you hear anything that you want to comment on or anything, you can put that in the chat, because we're deep diving into this. We're reading and just listening to the story, and then if people have questions and stuff, we can always look into those. So we're on Genesis 5 right now. In all, Shet lived 912 years, and then he died. Enosh lived 90 years and fathered Kenan. After Kenan was born, Enosh lived another 815 years and had sons and daughters. In all, Enosh lived 905 years. Then he died. Kenan lived 70 years and fathered Mahalalel. After Mahalalel was born, Kenan lived another 840 years and had sons and daughters. In all, Kenan lived 910 years. Then he died. Mahalalel lived 65 years and fathered Urid. After Urid was born, Mahalalel lived another 830 years and had sons and daughters. In all, Mahalalel lived 895 years. Then he died. Yered lived 160 years and fathered Hanok. After Hanok was born, Yered lived 800 years and had sons and daughters. In all, Yered lived 962 years. Then he died. Hanok lived 65 years, and he fathered Methuselah, yeah. After Methuselah was born, Hanok walked with God 300 years and had sons and daughters. In all, Hanok lived 365 years. Hanok walked with God, and then he wasn't there, because God took him. Methuselah lived 187 years and fathered Lamech. After Lamech was born, Methuselah lived 782 years and had sons and daughters. In all, Methuselah lived 969 years, and then he died. That's the oldest living man in the Bible. Fun fact, if anybody did not know that. Lamech lived 182 years and fathered a son, whom he called Noah. For he said, "This one will comfort us in our labor, in the hard work we do with our hands, to get what comes from the ground that Adonai cursed." After Noah was born, Lamech lived 595 years and had sons and daughters. In all, Lamech lived 777 years. Then he died. Noah was 500 years old, and Noah fathered Shem, Hem, and Japheth. In time, when men began to multiply on the earth, the daughters were born to them. The sons of God saw that the daughters of men were attractive, and they took wives for themselves, whomever they chose. Adonai said, "My spirit will not live in human beings forever, for they too are flesh. Therefore, their lifespan shall be 120 years." Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. These were the ancient heroes, men of renown. Adonai saw that the people on earth were very wicked, and all the imaginings of their heart were also evil only. Adonai regretted that he had made humankind on the earth. It grieved his heart. Adonai said, "I will wipe out humankind, whom I have created from the whole earth, and not only human beings, but animals, creeping things, and birds in the air, for I regret that I ever made them." But Noah found grace in the sight of Adonai. All right, moving on to Noah. Here's the history of Noah. In his generation, Noah was a man righteous and wholehearted. Noah walked with God. The earth was filled with violence. God saw the earth, and yes, it was corrupt, for all living beings had corrupted their way on the earth. God said to Noah, "The end of all living beings has come for me, for because of them the earth is filled with violence. I will destroy them along with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. You are to make the ark with rooms and cover it with pitch, both outside and inside. Here is how you will build it. The length of the ark is to be 450 feet. Its width 75 feet, and its height 45 feet. You are to make an opening for daylight in the ark, 18 inches below its roof. Put a door on its side, and build it with lower second and third decks. Then I myself will bring the flood of water over the earth to destroy from under heaven every living thing that breathes. Everything on earth will be destroyed." Hey, Jade. I've lost my spot. Hold on. "But I will establish my covenant with you. You will come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives. From everything living, from each kind of living being, you are to bring 2 into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They are to be male and female. Of each kind of bird, each kind of livestock, and each kind of animal creeping on the ground. 2 are to come to you, so that they can be kept alive. Also, take from all the kinds of food that are eaten, and collect it for yourself. It is to be food for you and for them." This is what Noah did. He did all that God ordered him to do. Adonai said to Noah, "Come into the ark, you and all your household, for I have seen that you alone in this generation are righteous before me. Of every clean animal, you are to take 7 couples, and of the animals that are not clean, 1 couple. Also, the birds in the air take 7 couples, in order to preserve their species throughout the earth. For in 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth, 40 days, 40 nights. I will wipe out every living thing that I have made from the face of the earth." Noah did not know that did all that Adonai ordered him to do. Noah was 600 years old when the water flooded the earth. Noah went into the ark with his sons, his wives, and his sons' wives, because of the flood waters. Noah went, oh, okay. Of clean animals, of animals that are not clean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the ground, couples, male and female, went into Noah in the ark, as God had ordered Noah. After 7 days the water flooded the earth. On the 17th day of the second month of the 600th year of Noah's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On that same day, Noah entered the ark with Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, Noah's wife, and all 3 wives of the sons accompanying them, they and every animal of every species, all the livestock of every species, every animal that creeps on the ground of every species, and every bird of every species, all sorts of winged creatures. They went into Noah in the ark, couples from every kind of living thing that breathes. Those entered went in, male and female, from every kind of living being, as God had ordered it, and Adonai shut him inside. The flood was 40 days on the earth. The water grew higher and floated the ark, so that it was lifted off the earth. The water overflowed the earth and grew deeper, until the ark floated on the surface of the water. The water overpowered the earth mightily. All the high mountains under the entire sky were covered. The water covered the mountains by more than 22.5 feet. All living beings that moved on the earth perished. Birds, livestock, other animals, insects, and every human being. Everything in whose nostrils was the breath of the spirit of life. They were wiped out from the earth. Only Noah was left, along with those who were with him in the ark. The water held power over the earth for 150 days. God remembered Noah, every living thing, and all the livestock with him in the ark. So God caused a wind to pass over the earth, and the water began to go down. Also the fountains of the deep and the windows of the sky were stopped. The rain from the sky was restrained, and the water came back from completely covering the earth. It was after 150 days that the water went down. On the 7th day of the 7th month, the ark came to a rest on the mountains of Ararat. The water kept going down until the 10th month. On the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen. After 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark, which he had built, and he sent out a raven, which flew back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had gone from the surface of the ground. But the dove found no place for her feet to rest, so she returned to him in the ark, because the water still covered the whole earth. He put out his hand, took her, and brought her into him in the ark. He waited another 7 days, and again sent the dove out from the ark. The dove came into him in the evening, and there in her mouth was a freshly plucked olive leaf. So Noah knew that the water had cleared from the earth. He waited yet another 7 days, and sent out the dove, and she did not return to him any more. By the first day of the first month of the 601st year, the water had dried from off of the earth, when Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked. And yes, the surface of the ground was dry. It was on the 27th day of the 2nd month that the earth was dry. God said to Noah, "Go out from the ark, you, your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing you have, birds, livestock, and every animal that creeps on the earth, so that they can swarm on the earth, be fruitful, and multiply on the earth. So Noah went out with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives. Noah built an altar to Adonai. Then he took from every clean animal and every clean bird, and he offered a burnt offering on the altar. Adonai smelled the sweet aroma, and Adonai said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground because of humankind. Since the imaginings of a person's heart are evil from his youth, nor will I ever again destroy all living things as I have done. So long as the earth exists, sowing time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night will not cease. And that's our reading for today. So we got to read all about Noah's Ark today. So if anybody wanted to hear that. There's a lot of repeating in there, I've noticed. It sounded like they said the same thing like 10 times in one paragraph. But yeah, thanks. I think Jade might be the only person here. But thanks for coming and watching. And anyone who didn't come on my Twitch, you can watch the replay. Because I'm going to put it's either going to be on Twitch or I'm going to try to upload these to my YouTube too. So more people can see them. So yeah, thanks for coming and for reading Genesis 5 through 8. Tomorrow, I plan on doing this again, probably earlier in the morning, because I'm free pretty much from 8:30 to noon, so I'll probably try to do it around like 9 or 9:30 tomorrow, and I'm Pacific time, so if anybody wants to join me, we're gonna do the next little section. And if you miss it, then you can come back on my Twitch and watch the replay, or you can go to my YouTube and watch it there. So, yeah, thanks everyone. Hope you have a great night. Bye.